This ranking is intended to be a tool to help you begin your own research. This isn't ranking the best or worst cities. It's not even really necessarily about what has been the best investment or what cities have done the best at keeping homes affordable. There's simply too much nuance to show the entire picture. Furthermore, there are oversimplified ideas out there that just building more homes will lead to greater affordability. As you will see from this ranking, the communities that are building the most homes aren't the ones necessarily protecting housing affordability. I'm not suggesting that we don't need to build more homes. It's part of the equation. But these are simply the facts that lawmakers need to address. This ranking is based on value growth from the summer of 2013 to the summer of 2023, using the benchmark HPI values given to us by the real estate boards. Cities that start off with lower prices in 2013 are generally going to see higher percentage increases than cities that have higher prices. Therefore, a general trend that you'll find in this list is that Fraser Valley homes, which are lower priced, will have a higher percentage gain than most Greater Vancouver homes, even if they have much lower dollar amount gains. Although the ranking is unbiased, it is not by any means scientific. My methodology is based off equally weighing the balance between the rankings of the percentage increases and the rankings of the absolute dollar increases. There are some obvious problems to the simplified method, but for the purposes of this video, it works. For an investor, however, it is important to consider this. Would you prefer to see a higher percentage return or a larger absolute dollar return? This might depend on your available capital for down payment, your investment portfolio strategy, your personal risk tolerance, and or your own investing philosophy. Meanwhile, if you are a policy analyst or an advocate for housing affordability, looking to see what cities are doing better at keeping home prices down, you may find this ranking helpful, but it has limits. So please consider that. I also want to point out something that renters should really consider. There are certain authors and talking heads out there that financially benefit from promoting real estate doomsday scenarios for longer than I've been a realtor. In this video, I show the dollar amounts for every city and housing type that the typical home in that market has increased on average each year over the last decade. Please consider this amount carefully. This appreciation is money that has potentially been lost annually by not owning a property, minus of course inflation and interest. I do have some important caveats about some of the cities on this list. First, not every city will have all three housing types. If a city doesn't have enough apartments or townhomes, I don't include it. Also, not every city is included. I believe Lions Bay, with a population of around 1,400, is the smallest city I've included. My next caveats are about the city of Delta and the township of Langley. These two municipalities are not considered their own cities by our real estate boards for some reason. This complicates housing statistics, messes up my rankings, and frustrates me, a stats geek, beyond reason. The real estate boards divide the city of Delta into North Delta, Ladner, and Tsawwassen. Not only this, but Delta is the only city represented by two different real estate boards. Sure, it may not make sense to many of us why North Delta is not part of Surrey, but it isn't. Meanwhile, the township of Langley is grouped together with the city of Langley under what I call Greater Langley. So although the city of Langley has its own statistical partition, which is represented in these rankings, keep in mind that what I'm calling Greater Langley is the combination of both Langley City and the township of Langley. Finally, these stats don't account for property taxes, mortgage interest, inflation, or other detailed financial factors. I'm looking at simple growth of benchmark values over 10 years. Oh, and I do plan to update this every year, hopefully with improved graphics. So if you're a big stats nerd like me, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel for future insights into the real estate market. If you have an idea about other unique statistics that you would like me to dive into, please leave me a comment. I really do read all of them, even if there's just one. If you have questions about real estate investing or smart housing policy, please don't ever hesitate to give me a call or send me an email. Without further delay, let's take a look at the rankings.